This stuff was so beastly. It was ambery, it had a cannabis note in here, it was a little bit smoky, it was dark, really intense. I feel like it had a very alluring, interesting scent trail. The 30 ml bottle is absolutely all you need. I'm glad I don't give you more than that because you don't need it. Fragrance longevity can be a sensitive topic for a lot of guys. Some guys insist that most fragrances just do not perform on their skin, and they are disappointed by the myriad of releases of fragrances that are poor performing. This video is for that guy who wants beastly fragrances, and most of the time I personally don't mind a fragrance just lasting 8 hours. That's personally the sweet spot for me, 8 to 10 hours. But today's video is fragrances that are so beastly they're gonna last over 16 hours for those of you who just want insane performance. Bear in mind, I actually don't like a lot of these fragrances on today's list, but hey, it's not about me, this list, they're for you. In the past, I may have said that these fragrances lasted, let's say, 12 hours or 12 hours plus. That's kind of because, in a way, I get a little bit lazy sometimes, guys, when I'm reviewing, and I start losing count of how long-lasting a fragrance is. Over 12 hours, you kind of just think, okay, this is a very long-lasting fragrance. You don't need to worry too much about how long-lasting it is, but realistically, these fragrances are probably going to get you at least 16 hours. We have 10 fragrances today. We're going to go through a variety of price ranges. Let's begin. By the way, guys, if you don't know, in our own brand, Atrium Fragrance, exploring new creative ideas in perfumery, we've released our Curiosity Discovery set, so you can try out all 5 fragrances on our Curiosity collection. Our longest lasting fragrance in there, I would say, is Mr. Majestic. This has been slightly reformulated to be louder, a little bit more clean. It's still dark, playful, plum, sandalwood, and iris. It's a new head-turner fragrance that I have not ever experienced this kind of idea before, and it's now lasting about 12 hours plus with a loud projection. We'll leave a link in the description down below if you want to try Mr. Majestic as a sample as part of our discovery set. The first fragrance is going to be a scent that I do not own anymore, and I'm kind of glad I don't own it. That is going to be Joop Homme. Now, this is basically like a cherry cough syrup in a fragrance that is annoyingly loud, annoyingly long-lasting. This is 16 hours plus and a loud projector. It's that kind of fragrance you blind buy as a beginner because it's so cheap. It's a bit of a classic, fair enough, but it kind of smells a bit weird, a little bit outdated, like it is stuck in the 90s. But in the air, it can smell good in some guys, but I just think if you're the wearer yourself, I wouldn't go more than 2 sprays. It's kind of impressive how this affordable a fragrance can be so beastly as well. It just goes to show, guys, you know, performance should not be something people slack on. These companies need to make sure their fragrances are performing, because if even humble Joop Homme can do it, then they can as well with larger budgets for their individual products. Lattafa's Emeer. This is kind of an honorable mention. I've been talking about this fragrance endlessly when I recently got it. This is a fragrance I usually say is around 12 hours longevity, but I've seen comments, people saying this lasts 24 hours on their skin, and I can see why. It really depends on how easily noseblind you go to ambroxan. This is a big ambroxan bomb with some sharp citruses in there, with also an interesting white tea note also. It's like Imagination had a baby with Baccarat, Rouge 540 had a baby with Tygar. Sharp and fresh, but also beastly, and it's not overly synthetic in my opinion. Of course, yes, you can detect there is ambroxan in here, but I think it's beautifully balanced for what it is, and very affordable, and it's got a loud projector as well. If you want a loud, head-turning summertime fragrance, this might be the one for you guys. 37.9% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys really want to see our channel grow, go ahead and click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you. Dior Homme Parfum, the old good stuff. Don't mess around with that weak sauce Francis Kurkdjian creation that came out recently. It's not a bad fragrance, but honestly, get Gentleman Reserve Privée, and I think you'd get a better alternative to the new Dior Homme Parfum 2025. But not bad overall, but this is a masterpiece. This is a 10 out of 10. That is brutal, dark, leathery, masculine, powdery iris that lasts maybe 20 plus hours. I kind of go a little bit nose blind with this fragrance, but I think in the past I've underappreciated just how long lasting it is. I think this will get more than 16 hours for a lot of guys. I'm sure people in the comments can vouch for this fragrance, how long lasting it is, and it's a loud projector as well. This basically has no sweetness in here. This is serious, masculine and mature, I would say. This is like, let's say, Bruce Wayne in his daytime fit for the CEO role of his life wants to rock a dark, intense fragrance. This is the kind of vibes you're going for with Dior Homme Parfum. The good stuff, the old stuff, guys. Armaf's Club de Nuit Oud. For transparency, we do get sponsored by Armaf, but I know this fragrance will not be everyone's cup of tea. This is one of the strongest fragrances I've ever smelled in my life. It's probably in that style of Xerjoff's Erba Pura, although I have limited experience with that fragrance. I will say this is like a fruit cocktail, white floral, intense musky fragrance. I feel like the strength of this scent is from the musks that are super loud. There's probably a lot of ambretolide and other white musks in here that are a little bit soapy, sharp, clean, and just project like crazy. And this lasts like, okay, I've never underestimated the performance of this scent. I've always said this is like 20 hours plus, probably 24 hours on your skin, not even on clothes, on your skin with a loud projector. This is a fragrance that is actually quite surprisingly balanced. I think it's going to be more challenging up close, but in the air, I think this is going to be quite nice. I think it's going to be a compliment puller. I feel like I have detected this in the air on other people. It's unisex for sure, probably leaning a little bit feminine, but I think guys can rock this. If you want to get noticed by your scent, this is the fragrance to do it. It's so hard to not notice this. It is super strong. You probably only need 2 sprays. There might be a tiny bit of real oud in there, but I don't think it's a main factor of this fragrance for sure. I don't think this fragrance is for everyone, but it probably does have a high compliment factor just due to the fact that it has a nice sillage and it's so noticeable. And I think you can wear this in the autumn, winter, and spring. It's surprisingly balanced, and overall, because of that, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It has a lot of good things going for it. But for sure, if you can, try before you buy. Maison Crivelli's Oud Maracuja. This is a hyped niche fragrance that I think deserves it. It's very creative. It's rose and oud with leather, very intense, thick, beastly, mixed with an iconic passion fruit note in here, which makes it creative, a little bit different to a lot of other rose and oud fragrances. This is more of a wintertime scent, more of a cold weather fragrance, but it has a really nice richness to it. It smells expensive. It smells like it's worth its price tag for sure, and it can get you easily 16 hours, I believe. It's a loud projector as well. Wear this in the autumn, winter, and springtime. If you want something, let's say, to wear in casual daytime environments or in the evenings in general, you want to get noticed, this is beastly. It's worth the hype. Try to sample it first though if you can. A fragrance I no longer own, that is Nasomatto's Black Afgano. Nasomatto, who are also a sister brand of Orto Parisi, I believe as well, they are just kind of insane with their fragrances. Their fragrances do not care. They will choke you out and your entire village with 2 sprays. They don't mind doing that to you. This is a very intense, interesting, ambery fragrance. I think it's beautiful, and fair enough, but like 2 half sprays was all you needed. Like 1 spray is actually all you needed for this scent, and it lasted over 24 hours when I had my bottle back in that batch. I'm not sure if they reformulated it, but this stuff was so beastly. It was ambery, it had a cannabis note in here, it was a little bit smoky. It was dark, really intense. I feel like it had a very alluring, interesting scent trail. The 30 ml bottle is absolutely all you need. I'm glad I don't give you more than that because you don't need it. It really is a super strong fragrance. That juice volume will go a long way. I didn't mind the fragrance. I thought it was a pretty good fragrance, but I ended up just not reaching for it. It's very limited in its wearability. I think it's pretty much only a winter fragrance, maybe in the autumn as well, but yeah, it's a cold weather scent for sure. It's worth checking out. It's pretty cool. Ormonde's Nawab Oud Intensivo. This is a fragrance that was gifted to me by Ormonde when I visited them for our interview video with the founder, Linda Pilkington. That was a great video. I had a great time recording it. It was really kind of them to gift this fragrance to me. This was one of the most hyped fragrances, so I'm very glad that they provided it because it's worth reviewing. This has very high ratings on Fragrantica, and I can see why. I personally still prefer Mon Tabacco Intensivo, but this might be a close second. This is impressive, beastly performance for how fresh this is. You might think, okay, it's an oud fragrance, it's in this beast mode video. No, it's actually more like a spring and summertime fragrance, I would say. It's probably those 2 are its best seasons, maybe autumn as well. This is a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. This is very bright, citrusy, spicy, soapy oud. And the oud is not like barnyard animalic. I do think they're using real oud in here, but it kind of just provides a background supporting notes. It's not the main character. It is that bright, spicy bar of soap is how I will say is the main scent profile for this fragrance. It's so fresh, so clean. They must be using very high concentration with this fragrance. It must be like at least 40%, I think, because it just lasts, and it's so strong in its projection as well. This is a loud, clean fragrance that lasts 16 hours and it never feels overpowering or cloying. Ormonde, I got the strong impression that they really take their time with their blends. They're complex, but they're made of love and care. You can tell if you try out this brand, guys, they're definitely worth putting on the map as a niche fragrance house. They deserve all the love and praise that they get. I would say this is overall perfectly in the middle, unisex as a fragrance. Kind of relating back to Nasomatto, I will mention Orto Parisi, which I think is the sister house of the brand. They released a fragrance that everyone knows, Megamare, which is a beastly aquatic fragrance that is definitely not for everyone. I had a sample of the scent and I kind of hated it. It's just so potent and a little bit putrid in my opinion. It's got like very intense marine aquatic aspects to it, with very strong white musks, which I think is what's giving it its main strength. It's a lab projector, probably 24 hours longevity. It's one of the most beastly, quote-unquote, fresh fragrances in the market. But I feel like the musks sort of have like a thick, putrid aspect to them. They just kind of feel a little bit suffocating, a little bit dirty. It's not like an easy aquatic, like this is not your Acqua di Gio or your Bulgari Aquaporum. This is not a very safe aquatic. Definitely sample before you buy, but hey, you might like it if you want something beastly. Xerjoff's Tony Iommi Deified. Both this and the original Iommi Monkey Special will probably get you 16 hours and above. I always said it's like 12 hours longevity, but again, it's probably one of those things where I'm not counting at that point, but this is very long lasting. This has a beautiful balance to it, very rich naturals in here, rose, leather, green apple, patchouli. It is strong, it smells like money. It smells like a very luxurious rock star would wear this as his signature. The original, I feel like, is only an evening fragrance. I feel like you can wear this in 3 out of 4 seasons, both day and night, and it's got a loud projection as well. This fragrance to me is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. You guys may remember from my Xerjoff buying guide, or part 1 to it, I smelled this as a sample and I pretty much bought it very quickly, straight away. Well, I think this is a masterpiece, one of the best that Xerjoff's ever made. So yeah, as I said, guys, for me, this is a 10 out of 10. This just speaks to me. It's not for everyone. Try it first, sample it before you buy, but I think this is really beautiful, underrated. I personally prefer this over the original Iommi Monkey Special. And lastly, one of my favorite dark fragrances, Amouage Interlude Black Iris. I had 2 samples of this fragrance before I eventually pulled the trigger. I wish I got this sooner, honestly, especially these days. The price is a bit of a steal. I'm not sure if those discounters really have those good prices still on there for this fragrance, but this could easily be a £300 fragrance, and I think it's still worth it. This smells like money. It's using such rich naturals in here as well. It has that dark, ambery, resinous aspect of the original Interlude, but it's got this slightly earthy, waxy orris in here. Orris is the real version of iris. It's got real oud in here as well. It's got just the most expensive ingredients in perfumery, and it's beastly. Probably 14 to 16 hours with a loud projection, probably more than 16 hours, honestly, but this is a beautiful evening fragrance. Autumn and wintertime only, in my opinion, but me having this kind of makes it that Black Afgano would be just redundant in my collection. I would never reach for it because this, to me, is one of the best evening dark fragrances to ever exist. I'm absolutely in love with it. It's not for everyone. Definitely try before you buy. It's got a lot of complexity. In my opinion, you can never get bored of this. Amouage are just a great brand in general. They're worth the money the vast majority of the times, and they've just got such great blends that you just don't get bored of. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention red tobacco. Enough said. And that concludes the list today, guys. What are your thoughts on today's beast mode fragrances? In your opinion, do you feel like you need these insanely long-lasting 16-hour plus scents, or are you happy like me with like 8 to 10 hours and then you can just wear another fragrance in the evening? That's the issue as well I have, is if you have a fragrance that lasts 20 hours, you are committing to that one fragrance for the entire day, and it's a bit awkward going to the gym with Black Afgano still stuck in you from 10 hours earlier. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to share your favorite beast mode fragrance in the comments down below, and make sure you check out our previous recent video of the best long-lasting affordable summer fragrances up here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.